Ladies and gents, I hope you all are doing well today. We're getting back into the swing of things with the Austrian Grand Prix here for the Sunday breakdown. Not going to ignore the fact that I have been off YouTube for quite some time, taking a little bit of a break, but now we're trying to get into the swings of things and get some videos back out to you guys. So hopefully I can do that and try my best to make it consistent. A bit of a unfortunate situation right now. I have taken apart my wheel, trying to order and get a new rim for the Logitech wheel and setting up my cockpit. You guys will see that video very soon, but everything's like a work in progress here. So I can't play F1 2021 yet. I believe that's the game that I just purchased. So I do have that game. Going to be looking through that and just going to give you guys the full experience once I am able to bring it out. But I hope you guys do enjoy the video today. If you do, leave a like on the video, consider subscribing. It helps out a lot. And without any further ado, let's get into it. Alright then, we're getting into it now, and we're going to be talking about the Austrian Grand Prix. Has been quite some time since this has happened, but I want to get all the Grand Prix out for the Sunday breakdown. We have Austrian, Great Britain, Hungaro, and then I'm still considering whether or not I'm going to do a Belgium Grand Prix at Spa because it was 3 laps under the rain. Wasn't quite eventful, but we do have to talk about what happened with George Russell, so maybe I'll combine it with Hungary or something of that sort, but we'll figure that out when we get there. But first, we do have to start off with practice sessions. As I said, I think in the previous videos, Spielberg is my favorite spot for F1 Racing Austria. Just a nice place, beautiful mountains, and pretty good vibes all the way around. Nice to see that fans are back this year. Last year we started back there and there was nobody there. It was very empty. But now we have everyone back, and it's nice to see that. And Max Verstappen, the man of the time, was able to take home his trophy in his quote-unquote home Grand Prix. I don't know if his home Grand Prix is here or his home Grand Prix is in Netherlands, but I'm pretty sure it is here. So we'll call this his home Grand Prix, and he was able to do pretty well for himself here. We did have some new drivers, some building drivers in F2 and below come up. Guan Yu Zhou and Roy Nissany for Williams and Alpha Tauri. So they were able to step in and get some time in the Austrian circuit, very quick circuit as we do know, putting in some relatively good times, not horrible, and I respect these drivers a lot. But going down the grid now, we have Nikita Mazepin in 20th, Nicholas Latifi in 19th, and Roy Nissany stepped in for the Williams. 18th, Mick Schumacher, and 17th, Callum Ilott stepped in for the Alfa Romeo, and 16th, Sebastian Vettel, 15th, Guan Yu Zhou, and 14th, Lance Stroll, 13th, Daniel Ricciardo, and 12th, Esteban Ocon in 11th, and Lando Norris in 10th. McLaren Mercedes did have struggled in the past. Ricciardo hasn't really found his true pace, but coming up on these following episodes, we'll see that he has pushed himself, and he's finding a groove in the car, and I do like to see that. Pierre Gasly in 9th, Sergio Perez in 8th, Lewis Hamilton in 7th, Kimi Räikkönen in 6th, Yuki Tsunoda in 5th, Valtteri Bottas in 4th, Carlos Sainz in 3rd, Charles Leclerc in 2nd, Max Verstappen in 1st. It's a good thing that Ferrari is getting 1, 2, or 2, 3 here, because as we did see last year, they did have some unfortunate accidents in this Red Bull ring. I believe both races they didn't finish. I may stand corrected, but if you guys want to go search that up or check out my past F1 Sunday breakdowns of the Austrian Grand Prix previously, go be sure to check that out. But it hasn't been optimistic. It hasn't been very good for Ferrari these past years in this place. But they do have a new driver, some new faces to the team, so hopefully they can push through. Going on to free practice 2, finishing up the Friday there, we did have some nicer times as everyone just hopped back in their car. But Nikita Mazepin goes a 106.173 to round off the grid. They're in the 20th spot. Nicholas Latifi in 19th, Mick Schumacher in 18th, George Russell in 17th, Charles Leclerc in 16th, Daniel Ricciardo in 15th, Kimi Raikkonen, I believe, is back in the car as he did switch out with Callum Ilott in 14th, Carlos Sainz in 13th, Esteban Ocon in 12th, Sergio Perez in 11th. We see a nice time posted by Antonio Giovinazzi with a 105.511. Very nice time from him. It's actually a competitive time. Taking a head look to qualifying. No, that wasn't really competitive. I lied. That's cap. Forget everything I said. It's not really competitive, but he was a competitive driver. And Leonard, this is focus on Giovinazzi here for a second. It is a place where he can compete. I believe he had led the grid in most laps gained in the first lap. He is an underrated driver. Jesus. He might be Lord and Savior of F1. So he does that best, and it's nice to see him do well here. Going on the race results here, I want to see. He did pretty well considering his. He did all right. And he was able to get some places up there. Talking about the race though, we will have some incident reports from him. So Lando Norris is in 9th, Fernando Alonso is 8th, Pierre Gasly is 7th, Yuki Tsunoda in 6th, Sebastian Vettel in 5th, Lance Stroll 4th, Max Verstappen 3rd, Valtteri Bottas 2nd, and Lewis Hamilton 1st. Merckx on top of the 104.73 and 104.523. Nice times there, as we do see they did get into the 103s in quali, and we're able to do some quick work, like fast, like ooh, that's crazy. But after a good night's sleep, they all came back. Everyone was back here. No need to call up Hulkenberg. Very, very sad that we didn't see him. We haven't even seen him this year. He's been commentating quite a bit, and but I want the Hulk back. I think everyone does. Yeah, he should be in the grid next year. I'm hoping that we see him next year because he's a nice driver. Him and Ricciardo were like him and Danny Ricciardo and Lando Norris are a nice pair. Like, they're funny and comical. But nothing against Norris, because I love that dude. Like, he has a huge social media presence, and I think he's going to be a very competitive driver in the coming years. But I didn't like Hulk. I found that the pair of Ricciardo and Nico Hulkenberg were a good pair. Very outgoing, funny guys. And the stuff that they do with like Grow the Grid and other F1 things were pretty funny. But so talking about Saturday now, going on to free practice 3, Nicholas Latifi is in 19th. I didn't see that. Nikita Mazepin is in 20th with a 106.28. Mick Schumacher in 18th. Kimi Raikkonen in 17th. Daniel Ricciardo in 16th. Lando Norris in 15th. George Russell 14th. Posted a time of 105.69. Not too shabby. Esteban Ocon 13th, Yuki Tsunoda 11th, Lance Stroll 11th, Yuki Tsunoda 12th, Lance Stroll 11th, Sebastian Vettel 10th, Charles Leclerc 9th, Fernando Alonso 8th, Sergio Perez 7th, Carlos Sainz 6th, Antonio Giovinazzi with a 105.34. Grid was pretty tight, but that is a nice time from him nonetheless. Pierre Gasly is in 4th, Lewis Hamilton in 3rd, Valtteri Bottas in 2nd, and Max Verstappen setting the top time of free practice and was going to show what was going to come, Verstappen domination. That's what happens. That is what happens. But for the main event here, the Saturday man himself does wonders. Like, it's crazy to think that this rookie driver is doing this because he's a menace. George Russell is a menace. Mark my words, he will be a world champion. I'm confident to bet on that he will become a world champion. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. Going on to qualifying now, though. We have Q1. We have both Haas get out. Both Alfa Romeos. No, one Alfa Romeo, one Williams, and one Alpine. Nikita Mazepin is in 20th. Mick Schumacher qualifies 19th. Nicholas Latifi qualifies 18th. Esteban Ocon with the 105.051, basically a 105 flat. But then Kimi goes 105 flat with the 105.009. So I wasn't going to say flat because that Kimi outdid that. But yeah, Kimi in 16th, Esteban Ocon in 17th. Now, Q2, here we have Antonio Giovinazzi in 15th place. Nice time from him. He got a 105.083. He went quicker in Q1, but wasn't able to find that pace. I think he was all right where he was, and trust his race pace because he is not the Saturday man. In fact, he is like the first lap of Sunday man. That's what we should call him. It's not catchy, but that's what we can call him. Fernando Alonso is in 14th. Daniel Ricciardo in 13th. Charles Leclerc in 12th. Carlos Sainz in 11th. Now, I was going to bite my tongue when I said Ferrari was not in a hot spot in this place. They haven't done particularly well. But we will see that there was no no race incidents involved with the two Ferraris, Alfa Romeo. We'll talk about that different. But yeah, there wasn't too many race incidents, and they were able to do some well for themselves. Lance Stroll moving on into Q3. A name that you haven't heard me say this thus far is George Russell. Yes, the man made it into Q3. Top 10 shootout, ladies and gentlemen. Just think about that. Top 10 shootout. That's wild. Wild. He put the same number of laps in as Carlos Sainz, Charles Leclerc, and Antonio Giovinazzi, while still managing to qualify 9th in Q3. Dude has some pace. He's hustling. Dude's on a roll. It's actually crazy. GOAT mode. Yeah, he did qualify 9th. Lance Stroll was in 10th. Sebastian Vettel in 8th. Yuki Tsunoda in 7th. Pierre Gasly, nice place, in 6th. Valtteri Bottas in 5th. Lewis Hamilton in 4th. Sergio Perez in 3rd. Lando Norris in 2nd. And Max Verstappen in 1st. If Lando Norris and George Russell don't win world titles, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what F1 is doing, because it's kind of crazy. They are amazing drivers. Broke into the point 103. 103? That is 63 seconds, 0.76. It's actually wild how fast these people are going, and how the craft that they have is just astonishing. But we will have to talk about the race now. Alpine didn't too hot here, as only one of them scored points. One of them scored 1 point. That was Fernando Alonso. But the other one got DNF'd by Antonio Giovinazzi. He got sandwiched between Giovinazzi and I believe it was a Williams. No, it was a Nikita Mazepin possibly. I know it was a Haas, but I don't remember which one. But he did get sandwiched and had to go out on lap 1. Turn 3, lap 1. Turn 2, 3. It's a long hairpin that Ferraris got messed up in last year. So Ferraris, I don't know what you're doing, but they were pretty fine this year. 8 and 6, 8 and 5. And scoring some nice points, 14 points to be exact for Ferrari. Pretty nice, I would say. But that was about the stuff that we had through the race. It wasn't super interesting, but it was just enough to keep the race fun to watch. And Austria is always a fun race to watch. You know, Red Bull Ring, it's fast, lightning quick. The times that these people post and just go by, it's wild. You put 2 laps on the last person if you're in first place, and you're just going quick and quicker. But we do see Max Verstappen come home with the trophy. This time Valtteri Bottas in 2nd and Lando Norris on a podium once again. I believe, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I believe every time Lando Norris has gotten on the podium, Max Verstappen has won. I feel like I saw somewhere that something said that. So that might be true, that might not, but it is true this time, and they're scoring crazy points. Just going off. Absolutely crazy. Going from the back of the grid now. everyone coming into Parfirme. Nikita Mazepin in 19th, Mick Schumacher in 18th, Sebastian Vettel 17th, Nicholas Latifi 16th, Kimi Räikkönen 15th, and Antonio Giovinazzi 14th, Lance Stroll 13th, Yuki Tsunoda 12th, George Russell 11th. Did drop down a little bit, but still there. We'll see him pop back, because he's scoring points. He's doing it. He's gonna do crazy things. Fernando Alonso in 10th, Pierre Gasly in 9th, Charles Leclerc in 8th, Danny Ricciardo in 7th, where he stands usually 7, 6, 8. That's where he stands. That's where he is. That's his home. So it's nice to see him go back there. Sergio Perez in 6th, Carlos Sainz in 5th, Lewis Hamilton in 4th, Lando Norris, I said. In 3rd place, Valtteri Bottas in 2nd, and Max Verstappen, top of the podium, going number 1. Very nice from him. Quick race there, and it was nice to see him do well. As I say that, he is a Norwegian, I believe that. I don't know, but he's from the Netherlands. So that's his home Grand Prix this week. We'll be talking about that. So it wasn't Austria. It's not even close. Not really. But I don't know why. I think he's half and half, maybe, possibly. But it's a tight battle. It's a very tight battle between 1 and 2. And it'll stay that way until, not the end of time, but for a long time. And I think it's going to be fun to see how these people, how the drivers are going to be fighting for these top spots. You see the guys in the 10th area, that's 7 through 12. They're in a close battle, and they're going to be trying to keep their spots. But next time we'll be talking about the Great Britain Grand Prix, Silverstone, historic circuit. I believe it was one of the oldest circuits. And then we have Belgium, similarly after Hungary. Goes Silverstone, Hungaroring, I believe that's the name. Hungaroring, yeah, and then Spa. So Spa Francorchamps will be up next, probably with Hungary. I'll have that as a combined because it was only 3 laps. Now I'm not gonna do that to y'all. Make y'all listen to a whole 5-minute episode of the thing, but it is important to talk about, and should be pretty fun. So I hope you guys do enjoy. If you did, leave a like on the video, consider subscribing, and until next time, peace.